everyone. We're gonna get started for the day. I hope that you have an amazing Friday. And I hope that you are just enjoying excuses mail, y'all. I popped off last night and I gotta put it back on, but can't find the glue currently, so we're just gonna keep it pushing, keep it moving, because I got things to do. But I really hope that you're having an amazing Friday, and I hope that this strategy success formula is going to support you. And if you are not catching it live right now on my Instagram, then you are more than welcome to check out the entire bundle of series that I have of all the strategies for success that are on my YouTube. Currently, you're probably watching that from here, from there. But I just want you to get the success formula for you to be able to do this yourself if you are on the journey of you wanting healthier habits, if you want a healthier lifestyle for yourself and understanding how to get to the space. And if you are at the point where like you've done all that you can from like the free help that I've given you and from you doing research on the internet, and maybe you feel lost or maybe you feel confused or you feel scammed out of what is going because of the people that are going on in this world and how they want to sell you supplements and they want to sell you all these things that are not actually allowing you to heal. This is the place for you, and I'm here to support you and to help you, because I'm not here to sell you a facade, something that's going to allow you to manage something, but rather giving you the tools, the methods, and the success strategies for you to heal yourself, because that is the goal for me, to help you to heal. The Most High has given me the power to be able to show you how you can heal, because He has given us everything that we need on this earth to be able to heal. And if you're not healing, you're not supporting your body in healing, because our body is designed to heal, if you do not know that. And so understanding that I have been given an amazing gift to understand that I went through a point, a period in my life where I didn't understand what was going on with my body, how to support my body and understand that my body was able to heal. Got out of that space and was able to develop a completely different lifestyle for myself that not only supported me in being healthy, but allowed me to understand how to shift my lifestyle so that when I do make, a choice of like, I just came from out of town. So if I decided that I wanted to go out of town and I decided that I wanted to eat soy because I don't eat soy, I know how to support myself to get back to a healthy state. So I'm not estrogen dominant. So I'm not sitting here suffering during my menstrual cycle, and I'm not making myself bloated, fatigued. I'm not sitting here feeling awful because I know that I ate something that I had no business eating. Like, I know how to reset and release the things that I have consumed. And that is from me understanding how to release and reset myself from the past lifestyle that I had. Because I used to eat dairy. I used to eat tons of meat. I used to be sitting here inflamed all the time because of all the dairy and the meat that I was eating. I used to sit here and not read labels and not know the chemicals that I was consuming, not understanding the things that I was eating, not understanding what titanium dioxide was, sodium phosphate was, not knowing what citric acid truly means and what it truly is. And so through that process of me wanting change for myself, wanting to be healthier, it started with little simple things. And that allowed me to be able to make small changes in my life and small habit changes that led to a bigger lifestyle, a bigger change in my life, and led me to a plant-based lifestyle and me being able to support myself through the plant-based lifestyle. But it started with me first understanding that evolution was possible for me. Evolving was possible for me. And so our success strategy is evolve today. We're going to go through each letter of evolve, and we're going to knock that out, and for you to understand each point that is going to get you to success if you follow these keys, if you follow it the way that I give it to you. Because this was successful for me, and not everybody's journey is going to look exactly the same, but the overall basis of this journey is going to get you to the place that you need and what you need for yourself. Because at the end of the day, you have to get back to the basics. That's the number one key. Now, once you get back to the basics, things are going to shift and going to change in your life, and you have to listen to your body to be able to support that. Because when I was first transitioned to the lifestyle, I didn't understand how deep it was going to go with me being able to understand and to be able to feel different things in my body and understand what these different things meant, because I had been pushing them off and managing them and kind of making them hush hush for so long, because that's just the lifestyle that we live. Painkillers, pain pills, just sitting here taking all of these things to manage something that was going on inside of your body. You get a stomach ache, you're taking Tums, you're sitting here, taking Pepto-Bismol, all these things, and not realizing that you're eating food that is making you sick. You're eating food that is harming your body. You're insulin resistant, because that's where the space that I was at, developing insulin resistance, having all the signs and symptoms of insulin resistance. And diabetes has ran in my family. Not saying that it's genetically going to pass down to me, but your habits do lead you to the lifestyle. And your family, if they have, for my instance, diabetes in the family, more likely than not, your family is eating a whole bunch of sweets. And I know plenty of people in my family that overconsume sweets. That's just a thing. We have a sweet tooth in my family. And so knowing that and releasing that allowed me to evolve to the lifestyle that I deserve, which was a plant-based lifestyle. Knowing that I'm supporting my body by knowing that I deserve better and I'm going to do better for myself. So the first E that we're going to get into for Evolve is exploring your awareness, exploring what is going on inside of your environment, and understanding what is leading you there, bringing awareness to what has been the pattern habit in your life or your family's life, and the people that you have grown up around and you've developed and you've learned these habits from, and bringing awareness and exploring and understanding the factors that are influencing your health, and changing that for your well-being, and understanding that these factors are influencing more than just you eating junk, more than just you sitting here, enjoying what you're eating because this is your culture, this is what you do, but rather understanding that we have been tricked by society, programmed by society, and we keep on feeding into it and passing it down to generation and generation, thinking that it's okay because we're consuming in moderation, or thinking that it's just a part of life that we develop cancer, we develop diabetes, we develop high blood pressure. These are just things that have to happen because at the end of the day, in the sinful world, we have to suffer. When that's not reality, that's not true. Because if you ever get unbalanced enough where you develop a disease, you develop an illness, you develop something that's going on inside of your body, there's always a way for you to release and reset. There's always a way for your body to be able to heal and function the way that it's supposed to. If you have not given yourself a chronic disease that is literally unaliving you sooner than you need to. Because at the end of the day, regardless of how deep it goes, whether you have diabetes, you have high blood pressure, you're developing insulin resistance, you are aging yourself internally. And that awareness of you realizing that the food that you are consuming is harming you, you're not using food as your medicine, is the awareness that you have to realize that it is time for you to make change for yourself. And evolving looks like you becoming aware of the change that needs to happen, and you exploring what has been the pattern of your lifestyle, what has been the programming, and how do you deprogram that and reprogram it to what you need for yourself, and to support yourself through the reprogramming process. And so for you to take that and for you to be able to support yourself, you have to value what you're going to accept for yourself. You have to value the lifestyle that you want. That is the V for our Evolve. Value what you want for your life to look like. You have to want to be healthier. You might not necessarily right now in this moment look at plant-based lifestyle, plant-based living, and sit there and be like, I don't want to eat fruits and vegetables all day. But you have to value your body, value your health, and see that your body is a temple and it deserves better. And through you valuing your body over rather valuing how you can fill your stomach for your taste buds to feel good, then you realize that you have accepted that you want change for yourself. And you have recognized that there's a problem, and now we're accepting a solution that we have because it's a viable solution. There's literal factual proof scientifically. I'm here as one just, observation for you just to look at and see the change. And if you have not seen my transformation, it's posted on all of my social medias of what I look like before and what I look like now. And if you don't see the transformation and you want to see, I can send you a DM me on any of my socials, and you can just see the change and the progress that I have made for the over 3 years that I've been in this lifestyle. But it took me accepting the fact that this was going to be my lifestyle, because I started it thinking that I was just going to do this so that I could support my body and I wasn't eating a bunch of junk, not realizing that I was going plant-based. And so when I realized that I was going plant-based and that the lifestyle that I was living was not supporting me, because I was going back and forth between eating the junk and like reading labels but not truly understanding every single thing, and not monitoring every single thing. That's what I want to say. And once I got to the space of, if I don't know what it is, I'm putting it back. If I can't read the label and look at that directly and say that it's a natural thing, I'm putting it back. And I started to be more strict and to value my body, because my body is a temple. I started to realize that the way that I was consuming was not supporting me, and that I needed to make a bigger change. So I decided to start implementing more of the changes without judging myself. I started to implement more of I was trying to think of the action plan that I wanted for myself, without actually throwing the judgment on there of like, oh, you've messed up. You've been living this way for over a year. There's no way you're going to be able to live with this lifestyle. But rather realizing that I was new to the journey. I jumped into it without any help. I didn't jump into a program. I had nobody around me living the lifestyle besides my niece was on transition at the same time that I was. She started 3 months before me, but she was new. I was new. There was nobody for us to actually fall back on besides ourselves. And for us to just keep doing research, just keep looking and reading labels, keep understanding what we were consuming. And so I took the judgment out of it, and rather put in focusing on the value that I was gaining, the value that I was getting from me valuing my body. And through that, it's kind of crazy to think about like how much you can say you love yourself before, and I did love myself before, but how much I became the person that I was truly designed to be, and how much I started to love myself more, realizing that I was valuing my body to the highest that I possibly could, giving my body everything that it needed, the nutrients that it needed, and focusing on giving it the nutrients that it needed, so that I was always feeling good. I was starting to look better, but I like better than what I thought looking good was before. Started to look even better. And now here I am. I've lost, I think, at least 50 pounds, maybe more than I was fighting between 200 to 190 and now down to 160s. But like the heaviest that I had ever been was 215-ish. And so like I was fighting, like once I hit over the 200, it seemed like I had broken the seal. And so like every now and then I would go over 200, and I had never in my life gone over 200. So like when I finally did, it really seemed like I did break the seal. And it was kind of because I had seen myself in that space, and it had become the norm. It had become just a normal thing, because at the end of the day, even when I talked to my doctor about the fact that like I wanted to be smaller and I wanted to lose weight, and that what I was looking on Google, and it said like for my height, which I'm 5'6", the average, weight is like 140s. That is like your non-obesity scale. And so she was like, making me feel good about it, because I've had doctors that literally looked at me, and as a child, I was in middle school, and they looked at me and they told me like, you're overweight, you need to lose weight, and you need to do it now. Like no coating it, no nice way to put it, like literally told me that I was fat in front of my face. And so it hurt me as a child, but like me sitting here saying like, telling my family like I'm fat, that's what they tell me, and them telling me I'm not, going back and forth, it messed with my mental, because now I'm sitting here like the doctor's telling me one thing, you tell me to trust the doctor, but now you're telling me another thing, so which one is it? And so talking to my doctor and her telling me, like your body type is not the way that you are seeing when you look on Google, you're not gonna be down to these 140s and all these things, and her telling me to focus on rather portions, and me focusing on calorie counting threw me completely off. And like she was the sweetest woman, like was the only doctor that I felt comfortable around in a long time. But it made me start starving myself, start sitting here not living authentically to what was natural to me. And so I got to the space when I started this lifestyle, when I started doing research in 2020, and I stopped calorie counting, but rather started removing things that were actually harming my body, and started to put in new things that were going to support my body. And I didn't start the plant-based lifestyle in 2020, but once I got to the end of 2021, and I was finally like, yes, like, okay, I have started switching things out. I have slowly, gradually got myself away from different things. I started winging myself off of meat, stopped eating certain kind of meat. I started to realize that like there was a change and a shift. And like if I can do all of this and I can lose this much weight just from me not consuming harmful food, for me realizing that like I was heavily inflamed on the inside, so that's why I looked bloated. That's why I looked like I had like big bulky shoulders, and I had big like bulky, like a big belly, like it literally big thighs, like everything, which I did play sports. So it was like majority of it was muscle, but I started to lose the muscle. And so once I started to lose the muscle, because I wasn't working out, and when I wasn't working out as hard as I was when I was in high school playing sports, I started to realize that like there was so much muscle that was going to turn into fat. And that was the last thing that I needed on top of me already knowing that I was hitting 200 plus. So I valued the fact that things had to change, and I made that acceptance of like, okay, this journey is going to be possible for me because I've already seen the things that it can do, and this journey will happen for me, and this is going to be my new lifestyle. This is not going to just be a diet culture, something that I do momentarily, something that I do for that moment. And so then that leads us to our O of the Evolve, which is optimizing you an action plan. When I first started, that's the reason why it prolongs me seeing as much progress as I could, was because I had no action plan. So optimizing yourself an action plan through this will support you, because you will have the steps for you making the small changes for yourself, so that you'll see the big results quicker than you would than just winging it. Because that's what I did, a lot of winging it, a lot of guessing and reading vegan labels rather than actually reading the ingredients. And so if you are sitting here now and you're like, okay, we haven't even gone through all of this, and like, this sounds amazing, and I would like to start this lifestyle for myself so that I can heal, regardless if you don't stick with a lifestyle, because it supports me. But if it's just something for you to be able to release and reset yourself and to get back on track to where you need, then we can customize you and optimize a action plan for you, so that you are not where I was a year into the lifestyle of seeing results but not seeing as much progress as you could and you should, because this is a total transformation, and you should be seeing a total complete change. Like, I was seeing half and half. And so I don't want that for you. I want you to be able to get the most out of it in the beginning, so that this just reinforces you even more to drive to keep going, because I was driven because of the things that I saw. But if I would have started out where I could have been, I would have definitely, first of all, lost weight way quicker than what I did. I would have seen way more results when it comes to me being inflamed, and me getting my gut lowered, and me understanding how to get fatigue, mental fog, all of that gone, me releasing the asthma symptoms that I was having because I had developed asthma in high school, and just overall knowing how to support my body so that I could see the healing transformation that I deserved earlier on in the process. So I want that for you. And if you want that for yourself, so that you're not sitting here having to wing it like I did, or you're not sitting here having to hope that you're doing it on the right path, but rather knowing that I've done it and I've gone through it, and I'm 3 years into the lifestyle, and I can support you and walk you through that, you can book a one-on-one with me, and we can talk, and we can get a strategy plan written out for you so that you can start this. Or you can join my amazing 6-week program that I am starting in the month of May, that is going to support you in understanding how to get to the space and walking it through it, because the one-on-one is going to be more of a DIY, doing it yourself. But this 6-week program is going to be me working with you, or you can do it DIY yourself too. But I would prefer, and I would recommend you doing it with me, so that you can have the accountability. You can get direct access to me, so we can get strategies for you if you have any questions. And then also we can have our visits, so that you can tell me what's working for you and what's not working for you, and that will support you through this process. And so understanding that getting that action plan will allow you to live with intention, which is the L in our Evolve, which is living with intention, so that you can intentionally support your body in healing. And if you want that intentional healing for yourself, if you want to learn how to intentionally heal for yourself, it starts with you making that action plan and taking that action plan, and knowing that you deserve better, and choosing better habits for yourself, knowing what's in your ingredients for your food, knowing how to support your body with real whole foods, knowing that food is your medicine, not just something to fill your stomach and for you to consume. And for you to live each day with the purpose of you valuing your body and treating it like the temple that it is, because it's a temple and it deserves to be treated that way. And so understanding that you have an intention to get to a certain health goal for yourself. And that's one thing that we will talk about if you book a one-on-one or if we do the 6-week program, is what your intention is for yourself. Because people can be suffering from high blood pressure issues, gut issues. You could be sitting here inflamed and you just want anti-inflammatory help. You could be sitting here knowing that you don't consume the way that you should. And maybe you just want plant-based alternatives and you need help with these plant-based alternatives. Going through either that 6-week program or getting a one-on-one with me will support you in just getting you to the steps of you making change for yourself and being able to get that change that you deserve, because you deserve to be evolved in the lifestyle that you desire to pick for yourself. Not the one that has been programmed into you, the one that has been thrown onto you, but rather the one that you choose, that you want for yourself. And so that leads us to the V, which is value your renewal and your transformation. So both of the V's are value, but this last V is value your transformation and your renewal. Because you are transforming into a new lifestyle and you're renewing your mind. And through you renewing your mind, you are reprogramming habits. And so you have to value the fact that you are giving your body everything that it needs. And through this transformation, you have to recognize and celebrate the little wins that you have. Because if you're not positively reinforcing this new lifestyle, you're not going to stick with it. This is not a diet. This is a lifestyle. This is something that you are implementing and embodying for yourself. Even if you don't stick with complete plant-based, even though that is what I recommend, you have to understand that this is the only way that you're ever going to reset, regardless if you do go back to consuming meat. I never recommend you consuming meat or dairy going back to that lifestyle. But if that is something that you were just like, I can't deal without my meat, dairy will have to be a definite you never go back to, because it's never helpful for you to eat dairy. But if you're going to live the lifestyle of you consuming meat, there will be tips and things that we can go over for you if that is what you desire. But however, you have to understand that through you consuming meat, you are going to have to constantly reset yourself. You're going to have to constantly release the meat that you were consuming, because when you are consuming unalive things and they're storing inside of you, because that's what they're doing, because your gut is not working the way that it should, your digestive system is not working the way that it should, you have unalived carcasses inside of you. You have unalived meat inside of you, and it's staying inside of you. And we know what happens when meat is sitting there rotting on the side of the road. Maggots, dead things pick at it, parasites, like all of these things that to show you that it's been unalive for so long and that it's not good for you to eat. That's what's happening inside of you, because meat contains parasites. And we have to understand that majority, especially the U.S. culture, are not doing any type of parasite cleanses. We're not doing any cleanses, and we're doing these liquid cleanses that they give you with these tinctures and things like that, not realizing that these parasites feed off of food. And if you're sitting here taking a liquid cleanser through a tincture or whatever, and you're buying it and you're taking these liquid drops, these parasites are not dying off because you're taking these liquid drops. They're not dying off because you decided that you're going to do a parasite cleanse every other week or whatever. They have to not be able to thrive in the environment, and they thrive off of the food that you were consuming. But there are certain real whole foods, fruits and vegetables, that they don't thrive with. They thrive with meats. They thrive with dairy. They thrive with a whole bunch of additives and fillers because they're toxic, and they like toxicity. They like things that are going to make you inflamed on the inside, because that's the ideal environment for them. But when you're eating things like pumpkin seeds, you're eating things that parasites do not like, and they release different types of natural chemicals that naturally make their babies and them unalive. Then you start to realize that you don't need a tincture cleanse. You don't need these liquid cleanses. You need real whole foods that are going to support you. And this is how you value in your transformation, by renewing your mind through what you're believing and realizing that society has programmed you to believe a false narrative so that you spend more money, so that you become sick, so then you have to keep going back and forth to the doctor, paying these people who are making you sick, paying into the pharmaceutical company, sitting here paying all these medical bills because you have become sick at the early age of 40 because you have not realized how to take care of your body until you were 50. And it's like at this point, you already have diabetes and you have cancer. And so understanding that through this process, our final letter is going to be embracing your growth. And if you want to evolve into embracing that growth for you, the growth that you deserve through the lifestyle, then you have to continuously renew your mind, continuously realize that you have fed into programming, and that the growth that you want for yourself and you're desiring and that you're developing starts with you releasing the programming. And you evolving starts with you embracing your growth process, regardless if trials come up, regardless if things seem hard in the moment. You embrace the goal that you want for yourself and you stick to it. And through you booking a one-on-one with me, or you sitting here and you getting into the 6-week program that I have that will be starting in May, but you need to go ahead and get into that program now, you will get so many helpful tips so that you can minimize your stress through this process, so that you don't have to sit here and suffer and feel like you're doing this alone, and you feel like that you're constantly on an uphill battle, struggling and fighting, because you have to have the success strategy for it to be the easiest possible transition for you. And that's what I am giving you. That's what I'm supporting you with. The easiest transition for you to make the lifestyle happen for yourself without you having to struggle and fight. So if you want that for yourself, I suggest that you embrace your growth by you investing back in yourself now, because things are only getting worse. Currently, I know right now, Chick-fil-A is changing their chicken, their meat. We know that plenty of fast food places have been giving you GMO meats, and GMOs leading you to inflammation. GMOs they're terrible for you. They're not safe. They're harmful. And if Chick-fil-A was the top of the top line, knowing that they didn't give you any antibiotic chicken, and now they're starting to give you chickens with antibiotics that are not harmful to humans, or that don't need to be consumed by humans, or whatever it is, you have to realize that things are getting worse. Things are not getting any better. And for you to support your body in staying or being in a healthy state, because if you're already in an unhealthy state and things are not getting better, you have to change what you're doing. You have to change how you're consuming. Because if you're not changing how you're consuming and what you're doing now, and things are getting worse, you are going to get worse. And the only thing that is keeping you from literally being in the hospital bed for however long you have left is because you assume that you are consuming in moderation and that you're okay. You're not leading yourself to a lifestyle of you being completely inflamed, developing endless amount of diseases because you aren't consuming in moderation, or you don't eat this, or you limit this. Not realizing that there is no limit to the poisons that you're eating. If you're eating a bunch of additives and fillers, if you're sitting here consuming a whole bunch of inflammatory meat, you're eating GMOs because they're inflammatory. You're eating meat that consumes, the animal that consumes corn because corn is GMO. If they're consuming all of these wheat that are GMO because though they're cheaper crops for them to eat, so they feed them these fillers, and then you eat the animal that has the same thing inside of them, these GMOs, and the animal could possibly be GMO as well. Constant inflammation. Like, you have to make the connections, and I am here to support you in making those connections, because this is literally what I was doing in 2020, was researching where our food was going. And in 2020 they started making GMO pigs, and I stopped eating any pig products in that year because I realized that they are doing something to our food. They're doing something to our meat. They've been doing stuff to our processed foods, but now they're starting to make the real whole food even in a inflammatory, terrible state. And we have to make change for ourselves now, so that we get to the space when everything is hitting the fan, we already know how to take care of our body, and we are already set and prepared, and we know that what's harming us and what's not, and how to support ourselves, and how to release and reset so that we can get to the space that we deserve in our body healing, the healthy state that we deserve, the healthy lifestyle. And that is through you going back to plant-based. So all of my links are on my social bio, in my social media bio. You can click the link and you can tap in and you can book a one-on-one with me. You can book that 6-week program. If you don't see anything that you were looking for, if you're looking for my detox bundle, I think that is up there. But if you don't see any of the products that I have listed on my YouTube or I have said in this video, and you're wondering about it, don't be afraid to send me a DM, because I might have just removed the link and I can send you the direct link. So I truly hope that this live has supported you. And if you have not checked out my Purge the Poison series, that is going to be diving into ingredients and understanding the foods that you are consuming and how they're poisoning you. So check out that entire series, because it truly supports you. And I hope that you have an amazing, amazing rest of your day, and that this has changed you in some way so that you can evolve and you can do better. And before we go, I want to go over our E.V.O.L.V.E acronym again so you can remember. Explore awareness, value acceptance, optimize action, live with intention, value renewal and transformation, and embrace your growth. That is our E.V.O.L.V.E acronym. So take that acronym, use it, and allow it to support you in making a healthier lifestyle for yourself, healthier choices that are going to support you. I hope you have a blessed, amazing day.